My name is Neil Albrecht. I'm the former executive director for the City of Milwaukee Election Commission, helping out today with the operations of the city's 180 voting sites. I'm working in the triage room, which is what we call it, and that's where we take calls from the voting sites with any issues that might be occurring at those sites. So I don't have much to report, which is always good on election day. As I noted, we have 180 sites to my knowledge. All of those sites were open and operational by 7 a.m. this morning when the polls needed to be open. We haven't had any significant voting equipment issues, so all of the voting machines were operational as well as the sites being open. We do have fairly regular contact with the chief inspectors at each one of those sites. Chiefs are reporting a very busy election. One of our chiefs at one of the most busy voting sites in the city reported lines comparable to a presidential election. So that's really encouraging for the city of Milwaukee that we are having such a strong voter turnout. We don't have any significant concerns at this point around the operations of those sites. Everything seems to be running smoothly. Obviously, at every voting site in the city of Milwaukee, we have observers from the political parties, but also from members of the public. They seem to be enjoying their observing experience, as we haven't had any observer-related conflict reported at any of those sites. And from what I hear from Claire, the actual executive director, the central count processing of absentee ballots began on time this morning, and so far so good in terms of meeting their goal of wrapping up that process between 11 o'clock and midnight. Obviously, we expect voting site results to come in before the absentee results come in. Those will be posted at the offices of the Milwaukee County Election Commission, and those come in real time as soon as those chief inspectors modem in their results. So again, a terrific report so far from the city of Milwaukee. We did training with both our election workers and our chief inspectors on conflict management. We always remind our election workers that having observers present at your voting site is critical to the transparency of democracy. We like to have the observers present. They're the people who can verify the integrity of the election. And so I think just having those discussions with our election workers, I know the political parties have also had great conversations with their observers. So far, it has been a very relaxed election, and we're happy with that. I don't have a count on observers, but I have been getting calls about what's the maximum number of observers that a site can take. And by state law, there is no cap on observers other than what the voting site can accommodate. And obviously, some sites, if they're in a school gymnasium, can accommodate more people, say, than a playground field house. So, but everybody does seem to be reporting an exceptional number. I don't think there is any industry with greater scrutiny or more under a microscope than elections. And I think there's a lot of rhetoric out there in terms of the integrity of elections, yet elections have been through recounts. Observers are present for every function of an election, not just the voting sites, but the central count processing of absentee ballots. So in terms of the integrity election, I would say the public should go with what is factual and not what is speculative or allegations or accusations. The city of Milwaukee has an amazing track record of election performance when it comes to election integrity, and that has not changed. We work collaboratively with Milwaukee County, the Milwaukee County Election Commission, and they are responsible for working with the public and the media on the posting of election results. And so if any media or public wants to observe that process, the county is very good at announcing what results have come in so far and what results are still pending. Very often, not just for the city of Milwaukee, but for other Milwaukee County municipalities, there's a little bit of a wait for those absentee numbers to come in. They make that announcement and they will let the public and the media know when full results are posted. So any kind of even live broadcasting of election results real time as they're coming in will usually include some sort of a notation about pending absentee ballots. It's a pretty cumbersome process. I mean, they even now are at the Wisconsin Center to have a really significant space available to them. I'd be very surprised if there's been any reduction in staffing. So, I think rather than say we'll be done by 10 o'clock and be overly optimistic, I think they want to just put a realistic timeline out there, but certainly there's the opportunity for them to exceed that and finish sooner.